Hi, good afternoon, friend. I'm Ravindra Jain, President of GOPIO Myanmar. I would like to welcome everybody for today GOPIO Business International Business Council webinar, where we are going to talk about the business opportunity in Myanmar. So today we have two eminent speakers. Mr. Shyam Narsaria is a well-known face in agricultural commodity, and Mr. Nurani is another big name everybody knows in Myanmar in tourism and hotel industry. And I would like to welcome Mr. Guna Sekran, who is the president of Business International Council for GOPIO. Welcome, Mr. Guna. I will request you please give your welcome speech.
Namaste and good day to everyone with our webinar or either in Facebook all over the world. The GOPIO International Business Council has been actively in the scene for the past 5 years plus, especially during the COVID. We are actively in the webinar having many sessions. I'd like to thank Mr. Ravindra Jain, the president of GOPIO Mauritius, for actively involved in our all the meetings and webinar session. And he also was one of the instrument on organizing our conference in indoor during Privacy Bharatiya Divas in January 2023. I'd like to welcome today's speaker, eminent speaker, Mr. Shyam Narsaria and Mr. Nurani, to speak about these opportunities, business opportunities in Myanmar. When I started circulating this session, quite a number of people called me and asked, "Is that right time to invest in Myanmar?" Being situation there is not so conducive and so on. Nevertheless, there are opportunities in every crisis. I told them to come and listen to the talk. I think those people are in the Myanmar know the real situation, what's going on there. They can they can really shed the light to whoever is listening to here. This is part of a series that we are kicking out for every month. In this series of talk through webinar, in the prelude of we are having a conference or summit, GOPIO International Business Summit and GOPIO International Business Excellence Award and an expo in Kuala Lumpur in October 2023. We are talking about another 4 months time, and then we expect about at least 20 countries to participate in our conference in Kuala Lumpur. And then there are many activities going to take place, especially on the business side. We would like to welcome every one of you to participate. More information will be passed through the every country's chapters. We also welcome those in Myanmar, our PIOs or NRIs from Myanmar also to take part, and also we welcome all other countries to take part. And many MOUs can be signed in Kuala Lumpur. And this Malaysia is always a vibrant country in terms of manufacturing and export. And we are moving away. I think many countries are moving away from China. We can look at even Kuala Lumpur or any other country to come and start their base. We also actively working with our mother country, Bharat, in terms of business. See what can be done with India for import and export and setting up a business over there, or India to come and invest in this part of the world, because we have almost 6 to 7 million PIOs and NRIs in Southeast Asia alone. Especially there are sizable number of PIOs like about 2 million in Malaysia. I'm not mistaken, about 2 million PIOs and Indians there in Myanmar alone. There are others in the sizable also in Singapore and Thailand. So this will be the prelude to all these activities to so that we can promote our conference coming in October. I would like to welcome and I'd like to thank every one of you being present here, and please participate. There will be I hope there is a Q&A session. Those have any doubt, I think Mr. Ravindra will be there to shed light and then to clear everyone's doubt. And I like to say all the best for today's webinar. Thank you very much to Ravindra Jain for his hard work of organizing such a wonderful webinar session. Thank you. Namaste.
Thank you, Mr. Guna, for your nice word. And we definitely, Myanmar, GOPIO, and our people will definitely participate in GOPIO International Business Council meeting in Kuala Lumpur, as well as, and like I already discussed this, Mr. Ram, who is a senior general manager for two five-star hotel in Pan Pacific and Park Royal. We would like to have a one time our all GOPIO International Conference in Myanmar, and we will be very host. I hope, Mr. Ram, you are agree for that.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Can you hear me, Mr.
So
Ravindra? Can you hear me?
yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so for today program, I would like to first to our today first guest, Mr. Shyam Narsaria, who is a president of OATA, as well as he is a CEO come managing director of one of the biggest agri commodity company, RB. So I would like Mr. Shyam to tell about what is the opportunity in agro commodity in Myanmar.
Thank you, Ravindra. Good afternoon to everybody. May I have my slide? Yes. First of all, Minglawa to all the viewers. This is the iconic Shwedagon Pagoda, and I pray that the values and blessings of Lord Buddha shower on all the viewers. Straight away, starting with my opportunities, let us discuss about the strength. What strength Myanmar agriculture has got? First thing is got a fertile land, abundance of land and very fertile. The climate is very favorable. As we know, almost 6 months of rain. What else agriculture can expect? And 90% of pulses grown here are for export. Even rice is a big commodity, but almost 15% of rice grown is exported to other countries. Same another big crop is yellow maize, which is almost 65% yellow maize grown is exported. These are the world commodities like pulses. You know, there is a worldwide crisis of pulses, and Myanmar stand as the backbone for the world pulses. There are 15 different kinds of beans and pulses grown in Myanmar, and a variety of rice. There are different varieties of rice and yellow maize, of course, which is very useful for the poultry and this cattle feed. 61% of the labor force in Myanmar is involved in agriculture. Apart from it, there are 5 international borders which are connecting Myanmar. Let us discuss, not to discourage you, but about the weakness. Lack of research and development in Myanmar. Again, I say this is an opportunity that here there is the research and development is not so much developed. Lack of human resource development, the labor laws and other things and techniques, know-how is missing. Poor market infrastructures. There is no recognized exchange like the commodity exchange present in Myanmar. Weak financial and legislative framework like the banking and financing in micro level, macro level is missing. And Like for all the agricultural commodities, it is mostly they are using retained seeds. Retained seeds means age-old seeds which they are using since last 2 or 3 decades. Low level of mechanization, then very less machines are used, lack of access to irrigation systems like irrigation, as you know, we are dependent on monsoon, and but we receive 6 months of monsoon, but still we are dependent on 100% on rain. The irrigation facilities are not up to date, and very less use of fertilizers. In other way, it is a strength of Myanmar because most of the rice, pulses, yellow maize, corn, vegetables, fruits that are grown in Myanmar are in organic in nature. Now, opportunities of Myanmar agriculture. First thing is strategic location. The location of Myanmar is of utmost importance. Favorable agro ecozones. There are so many weather areas in Myanmar, different like arid areas, highly rain areas, and semi areas. Myanmar have uncultivated land about 5.4 million hectares, means there are huge opportunities. Almost you can say 30 to 35% of land can be more land can be used for agriculture. Favorable environment for specialty food market like as I mentioned earlier, that organic food. Foreign investment, there are some investment, but the scope of growth is very high. Government support in contract farming. One more thing, this is very important, that the government is supporting foreign investment in contract farming and anything related to agriculture. Some threat, as I previously said, 100% dependence on monsoon, low productivity and high volatility. Low productivity because of the return seed, low agricultural wages and farm profits. The wages are very less here for the farmers. In other way, the cost is less, so it's again one of the opportunities. About 80% of the farm holders have less than 10 acres of land. Similarly, which we see in our other neighboring countries like India, where the farm size is very small. Extensive, very big farming cannot be done. This is again one opportunity. If you do the contract farming, you can apply for the big land, thousands of acres of land, and you can do extensive farming. Non-utilization of fertilizers and correct nutrition, as per the correct nutrition required. As I was mentioning, Myanmar is surrounded by 5 countries and the two mega giants or the mega consumers, India and China. As we all know, location is of utmost importance. For example, if you are setting up a medicine shop, what better place you can get near the hospital? Similarly, any business setup, any factory, any warehouse, anything, you are placed almost in between China and India, the world's two biggest consumers. Anything, I'm not saying only in agriculture, any other commodity, any other like pharmaceuticals also, and hotel industry also, and so many other things. Any industry you set up, you have China and India to support. The logistic cost, the time is of very importance. And you can see Bangladesh, India, China, Laos, and Thailand. Myanmar is well placed in between these countries, and this is the greatest advantage for Myanmar agriculture. Now, just a quick view of land utilization in Myanmar. The net sown land is 12.3 million hectares, wasteland, as I can say, 5.4 million hectares, which has a great scope to grow. Forest land is 33.5, other land 16.5, total 67.7 million hectares of land in Myanmar. Now, just quick review. I will focus more on what are the scope, but quick review of what is the current status. 36% of the GDP comes from agriculture. So Myanmar is an agriculture country. 61% of labor force and 28.1% of export earning. First, coming to the main crop, rice. Myanmar produces around 12.5 million tons of rice and around 2 million tons which is somewhere around 15%, 15 to 16% is exported out of Myanmar to the countries like China, Bangladesh, Philippines, and other European countries. Almost around 30 countries it is exported. 85% is a domestic consumption and 15% export. Around 800 million US dollar earning we receive from the export of rice. Similarly, yellow maize. Myanmar produces around 3 million tons of yellow maize, and around 65% is exported mainly to China, Thailand, Vietnam, and Philippines. Around 1 million ton is used for domestic feed consumption. Pulses, there are around 15 different kinds of beans and pulses in Myanmar, mainly being black mapte, turhole, green mung bean. And there are innumerable pulses which are small in quantity but are very useful and can support around the world whatever they need, like red kidney beans and chickpeas, butter beans, and black eye beans. These are small but can support the entire world. Other crops which are there in Myanmar, like sesame seeds, good quantity, onion, tamarind, raw rubber, vegetables, fruits, cashew nuts, dry ginger, Niger seeds, which is used for bird feeds. Advantages: proximity to major market, as I mentioned, India and China and Thailand. Labor is very affordable. You can get a cheap labor if you are planning to set up any agricultural business. The labor is very cheap compared to other parts of the world. Large number of trader and commodity exchange, small in every almost every village area there is small exchanges which connect to a bigger exchange in Yangon. Convenience of grading and sorting, like we can grade the different kinds of rices, pulses. Simple export procedures. One more thing which is of very importance is the export process in Myanmar is very simple. If you grow any pulses, if you're able to buy any pulses, the procedure is very simple. You just need to get the export earning in your bank, and then you can export with the least documents required. Now, in agriculture sector, what are the main areas we can focus and we can attract people from around the world to export? Number one is seeds. As I mentioned earlier, Myanmar has been using the retained seeds since ages, almost 2 or 3 decades. So the seeds, more high yielding seeds are of good scope. Means we can invest in seeds in Myanmar. Either you can export seeds from other countries to Myanmar, or you can grow here and can resell to the farmers. As I mentioned, Myanmar is an agriculture country, and the quality seeds are in short. If you develop a business in seeds, really it will be flourishing. Contract farming, government is inviting. I had been with the agriculture minister and commerce minister in his delegation in past few months. They are always inviting contract farming, not only in rice, yellow maize, pulses, but also in the oil seeds. Agricultural tools and machines, like Myanmar still, as I say, it's under development mechanization. So agricultural tools and machines are of in huge demand. You can export them, and you can maybe market them in Myanmar very well. Pesticides, again, like pharmaceuticals, pesticides also have the same process, around 1.5 to 2 years of registration process. And pesticides is a good business in Myanmar. All the farmers, they will buy it because they have lack of knowledge. You have to educate them about what pesticides to be used for which product. Same like fertilizers, we use minimum fertilizers, not because of what to say, less supply, but because of lack of knowledge. Rice mills, we can set up rice mills in Myanmar. As I mentioned, 12.5 million tons of rice is grown in Myanmar, and once Myanmar was known as the rice bowl of Asia. So rice mills are of huge scope. Dal mills, similarly, Myanmar grows around 1.5 million tons of pulses. We can set up dal mills. Rice bran oil extraction plant. This is also a huge opportunity. Rice bran oil. And now one brief I want to give. As Mr. Gunasekaran was mentioning, there are crises in Myanmar, but actually there is no crisis in Myanmar with regard to business. It's only in the political or some other way. But Myanmar government supports agriculture, growth, export. So all are welcome. Myanmar has huge opportunities for beans and pulses, rice, contract farming, especially of oil seeds and seeds, growing of seeds. Government is always welcoming people from around the world to come and invest in Myanmar, and the government is always ready to help anybody who come with the investment and add on to the agriculture of Myanmar. Now, I will request anybody if you have any query regarding the Myanmar agriculture, especially in rice, sesame, rice, corn, pulses, please ask with me.
Thank you, Mr. Shyam, for your nice and brief presentation about agriculture commodity. So I will ask you one or two questions to you. What is the actually your agriculture data says from last 1 or 2 year? How is the business for overall agriculture sector in Myanmar?
Well, agriculture sector is growing. As I mentioned, like beans and pulses, 1.5 million tons are grown, and mostly it is for export. So the over $1 billion we are getting from beans and pulses, around $800 million we are getting from rice, around $500 million we are getting from yellow maize. So agriculture sector is growing in Myanmar, and still.
Oh my God.
This challenge because I think 5 p.m. is power cut.
Okay, Mr. Ram, now I will start. Welcome to you.
Thank you.
Okay. So
let
Mr.
me share my screen.
Yeah, please.
Can everybody see my screen? Are you able to see my screen?
No.
Okay, give me a moment. Present, share screen on Windows.
Because I need to make it one place for.
Select window. Oh, one moment, huh? Present entire screen. Okay, allow. Okay. Do you see my screen now?
Yes.
Okay. Good afternoon and good evening, everybody. Thank you for giving us the opportunity. I think it's a beautiful forum to present Myanmar to such a wide audience in global attendance today. Mr. Ravindra Jain, thank you so much for the invitation to be able to present to such a wide audience. So I will start my presentation. So this is a brief on my background. My name is Nurani. I'm the cluster general manager of 3 beautiful properties in Myanmar. The 2 Park Royals, one in Yangon, one in Naypyidaw, and the Pan Pacific, which is in Yangon. My previous assignments include I was vice president in the same company before for 3 years based in the headquarters. And then obviously the company asked me to move here given the condition of Myanmar. Prior to that, I was handling asset management for Fraser's Hospitality globally. And then before that, I was general manager in Yangon. So that's one of the reasons why I'm back here. Somebody in the company who knows the culture, who knows the know-how and understands the ways of operation in this country, the warmth of the nation and build relations in this country. I was also a part of the opening team of Park Royal Naypyidaw. Prior to that, I've had assignments in Kuala Lumpur, Singapore, Middle East, Malaysia, and companies like Meridian International and Meridian International and Hilton International. So moving on, a brief on Myanmar. Nothing much. I'm an eternal optimist. I always like to see things half glass full. And just sharing briefly on what Mr. Narsaria already mentions, we might see some overlaps. It is the largest country within Southeast Asia. Population over 53 million, which is tremendous because the youth population is huge. It is strategically located between 2 key nations with high population. Collectively, these 2 countries have over a population of 2.6 billion and the distinctive ancient culture sharing traditions with both the neighbors. So you see there, India, China, Bangladesh, Laos, Thailand. These are some of the key bordering nations to the country. Now coming on to Yangon. So Yangon is the gateway commercial capital of the country. Obviously, with the COVID and the coup, the country's inbound travel has been significantly impacted. But again, you have supply based on the demand. Given the tough nature of the nation, many of the hotels have closed, and there are a few hotels that are operating. So if so Park Royal and Pan Pacific hotels remained operating throughout the coup and the COVID period. So if you see the tourism for whole of last year into Yangon, you only had 79,000 visitors. Again, we have to discount the fact of April, May, June, July, August, pretty much September, October is when the country opened up more. And when we see this year already, the first 3 months has almost captured three-fourths of what was achieved last year, right? So it's a very positive. When you have low numbers like one, you achieve another one, it's 100% growth. And that's the way I look at things for improvement year on year. Moving on, which are the countries that guests are coming in from? Thailand being the next door neighbor, sharing a major border. Thailand, India, China, Japan, Singapore, Indonesia, which is the chair of ASEAN this year, is having regular interactions with Myanmar. Russia is a big support. Of course, Vietnam is another great support, being within ASEAN. And then we have some European Union countries and South Korea, which has had significant investments in the past year. India is coming in a big way. We've had a few delegations. You will see some slides later on, whether it's government to government or business to business. There is a lot of interactions happening. And Japan, of course, who've had the long-lasting investments in the country through its investment arm, JICA, who've been here with a long-term approach. A little bit on the flights that are coming in. You have, again, Thailand, India, China, Singapore, Indonesia. All these countries are well connected. I will actually just click on the link here, which will take us to the Yangon International Airport's website, which is publicly available. Of course, NOCAIR has stopped operating now into the next few months, simply because of competition. There were so many linking flights coming in from Bangkok. People from all over the world, when they want to come to Yangon, they either come to Singapore or Thailand. So there was so much competition. NOCAIR was simply not able to have the load factor. But the other successful airlines, you see, Thai Airways, Thai Air Asia has been operating very successfully. Then you have other destinations like Malaysia, Singapore, again, Bangkok. China has got from quite a few cities. South Korea, Incheon, Bangladesh, again, and then Dubai. Myanmar Airways International has been traveling to Dubai for a long time. India, the destinations are Gaya, Delhi, Calcutta, and importantly, recently on the 6th of May, Myanmar Airways International launched the flight to Chennai. We also have SpiceJet that is coming into the other commercial city, which is Mandalay, which is towards the north of Myanmar. So you see, literally within the close-up countries, there is a lot going on. There's also discussions on flights to Russia. So the country is really, really going strong. Let me go back to my presentation. So here, what brings people to Myanmar? It's basically trading, as what Mr. Narsaria already updated earlier. This is, again, pulses, pharma, garments, FMCG, and other commodities. Projects, government to government of the nations that are ready to support the country, and business to business. Religious travel, Buddhism, people who come here to visit the pagodas, and we have lots of well-known pagodas, whether it's in Yangon, whether it's in Chaitio, whether it's in even Naypyidaw. The Upasanti pagoda is beautiful, taking a leaf of the Shwedagon, the famous Shwedagon pagoda in Yangon. Cultural travel, people who respect the heritage. Again, we mentioned about cultural similarities between Yangon, Bangladesh, Thailand, India, China. So it's a melting pot. Adventurous travel, basically I say adventurous travel because it's all about back to basics. The Yangon doesn't claim, Myanmar doesn't claim that it's a destination of modern travel. It's basically a destination of getting back to basics in life, getting back to your inner peace. And then again, given the state of the nation, you have diplomatic missions, UN, NGOs, and NGOs coming in. So I wanted to share one video which was prepared during my time. I was actually the vice chairman of the Foreign Direct Investment Committee with the Ministry of Hotels and Tourism when I was here previously in the years 2012, 13, and 14 and 15. And that was a time when we got together. We worked with a company called Image Diplomacy. All the hotels and the government contributed. And we came up with a beautiful promotion video for Myanmar. I'm sure you would have seen it, but I'd like to share this with you. So if you see a very interesting video that was put together by a lot of hoteliers, travel agencies, and it became quite popular at that time. And it was a very true confession. Myanmar let the journey begin. The idea was that Myanmar is opening up. Please come over and enjoy the natural being of a country that has still got a lot of heritage and culture and not disturbed by the modernity of development, right? So it was beautiful. It was well received, and I guess now when I see again that we are sending out the positive messages for Myanmar, as what Mr. Shyam said. There are many opportunities in every situation, and these are the opportunities that create reasons, that provide reasons for people to travel to the country. So this video was very effective. It was played on CNN, Channel News Asia, BBC. Everybody caught on to this. All the travel agents and promoters and marketing messengers were actually using this video. And the couple you saw towards the end sitting by the lake having dinner were Gabriel Avila and Sosha Hellier, who spent a lot of time traveling around the country. They produced this video. They are the owners of Image Diplomacy. They actually traveled around the country. They stayed here for many months and made friends in various parts of the country and put their heart into producing this video. Moving on, again, there are hotels update. Park Royal Yangon is one of the first hotels to be opened in the country, opened in 1998 under a different banner name until my company acquired it in the late 1990s. And then when I was here in the last time, I renovated over 3 years, spending a lot of money. And I did the initial planning for Pan Pacific Yangon, which opened in 2018. As I said earlier in my slides, I'd opened Park Royal Naypyidaw in 2014. As a group, we have supported Myanmar extensively. All our hotels were operating throughout COVID period and through the coup. We kept all our associates employed during this period. Several hotels, as Shangri-La, Sedona, The Strand, Governor's Residence, Rosewood, Kandoji Palace, have all remained, and many other local hotels have actually remained closed. But we, despite all the challenges, have seen opportunities to remain connected to the country and to serve the people and to keep the people employed. Moving some positive news, Myanmar's economy lags, but despite all this, the Voice of America and various organizations have actually projected that Myanmar will achieve 3% growth for this year. Like World Bank has also projected that the economic growth will be there. Again, it's coming from a low base, but nonetheless, growth is a growth. And that's how you look at the glass half empty. Also, the Indian Myanmar multi-sector business-to-business matching, which was supported by the Indian Embassy, Excellency Vinay Kumar, and Mr. R.C. Yadav, the counselor who worked with Dr. Jagat Shah. Obviously, we all know him. A huge, significant trip this was, which covered pharmaceuticals, hospital services, manufacturing, fiber garments, construction, food products, information technology, agriculture, sugarcane, and its production and energy and banking. There were several meetings, and this was also well supported by the Union of Myanmar Federation of Chamber. There were several meetings that were held at the UMFCCI, and President Awin was extremely pleased, as we see in the comment as reported in the local Myanmar news. There is a bigger B2B matching that Dr. Jagat Shah is organizing with the Indian Embassy for some time in the second half of this year. Excuse me, please. And then again, ASEAN with Indonesia taking on the ASEAN chairmanship. They've had the ASEAN BAC chairman, Mr. Arshad Rashid, who visited recently. He was here earlier in May. And again, this has been about sustainable development of the country's economy and job opportunities. And the key areas of priorities were digital transformation, health resilience, sustainability development, food security, and trade and investment facilitation. This was obviously as a part of ASEAN integration and support, was supported by Singapore, Vietnam, Malaysia, the Philippines, Cambodia, and Brunei. It was quite positive, considering that Mr. Arshad was only appointed end of January, and he already held this large forum in early May. Further, also European Chamber, the CEO of the European Chamber, Ms. Karina Ufert. She's also supported in understanding and clarifying and helping with the banking issues, regulatory challenges, and power outages. These are some of the issues that are being tackled, and various chambers are fronting. So if you see now, many of the European nations, the chambers are remaining connected to the country. They are wanting to support Myanmar moving on. As I mentioned there, Pak Royal Yangon is very closely associated with Eurocham. So many of these facilitations we are involved. In fact, with Ambassador Ranieri, we've had intimate discussions in the hotel on how we support Myanmar with the positive messaging. And between European Chamber and British Chamber of Commerce and Ministry of Hotels and Tourism, we are working towards the positive messaging for Myanmar to get the messages out. Next one is a bilateral meeting between Myanmar and China. That's always China has always been positive towards Myanmar with the economic corridor as well as the Belt Road Initiative, and there is constant integrations and meetings that happen. And then MIC itself, the Myanmar Investment Committee, has been quite active really since the earlier part of the year. And they have earlier this year already approved about 144 million worth of investments. And these are from Singapore, China, and Thailand. So this is a very short video from me. We welcome you to the Golden Land, Myanmar, land of smiles, land of opportunities, land of friendship, the land with immense culture and heritage, a country that offers the sun, the sand, and the sea. And obviously, you have the cities like Yangon, Mandalay, which are commercialized cities. Then you have Naypyidaw, which is the administration capital. But then you have the entire southern archipelago and the beach resorts, which is Nue Song and Nepali, and the rest of the archipelago, which offer a tremendous opportunity for a leisure destination. I think there are many well-known, it's been a known factor that many Indian families get wedded abroad, and it's a great destination wedding concept, but Myanmar is not far from being chosen for those once certain perceptions are cleared. And as Mr. Shyam mentioned, there are always limitations, and it is not that people only travel to developed nations which have peace and calm. There are other reasons also why we travel, and every limitation and every challenge is actually an opportunity for us to support the country, to overcome these, to visit the country and support the local population and the economic growth. That's what I have, and I'm ready for any questions anybody may have.
Thank you, Mr. Ram, for your excellent presentation. And I will request, like I already told, I'm pitching Myanmar for 2024 Global GOPIO International Conferences Myanmar. So you can also request to the people. These are the people who are here, around 10 people from GOPIO. They are mostly our president or some post in different country. So it is a good opportunity for Myanmar, and so we can request to everybody, come in Myanmar. It's a beautiful country. We all are welcoming here. Park Royal and Pan Pacific is there, and Mr. Ram is there.
Yes, please do welcome. It is a lovely destination, and as you say, I was away for 8 years back in Singapore. I have come back. I'm here with my family, and Mr. Shyam has been here for so many years. Mr. Ravindra Jain has, Mr. Shyam, I think more than 2.5 decades, if I'm not wrong.
Yes, almost.
Yeah, almost. And Mr. Ravindra Jain, maybe 2 decades. So these are all fans of Myanmar. I'm a returning fan of Myanmar. So there are many positives. So if we come here and we live here with our families, we definitely see something here.
Ram, while going through your presentation, I find out like in 2022 calendar year, around 70,000 total tourists coming in first 3 months. I think till this May, you must have country must have achieved what we have done in 2022. So this
Already.
is a very, it is a very encouraging trend, and hope to see the lot of tourists, business tourists, religious tourism, and for all type of tourism are welcome in Myanmar.
Yes.
So if anybody have
so as I mentioned, that I'm also working on a forum with the Eurocham and the British Chamber and Ministry of Hotels and Tourism progressively to see how we can do positive messaging. I also attended a tourism forum with the Indian Embassy that was organized by Excellency Vinay Kumar. That was again about how we grow tourism between the two nations. Was very positive, a great initiative by Excellency Vinay Kumar.
So Sam, sorry, you have some technical issue. You have log out. So like I was asking the question to you, that you told that last 2 years for agriculture commodity business was good in Myanmar, and hope it will be much more better in coming years. Thank you, Ram, for your nice presentation. If in between some our member will ask question, I will throw to you. So
Please.
Sam, can you just summarize your what are the businesses our GOPIO friend, if they want to invest and they want to come to Myanmar, just in 3-4 points, please.
See, the first opportunity in Myanmar now is in the power sector. Anybody who is interested in power sector, especially the solar power, I personally feel because of the current power shortage in Myanmar, Myanmar is also looking for some long-term solution. But this is the most promising power sector investment. Next is agricultural sector. I personally feel agriculture sector have the scope to grow 100% more. We can utilize more land, use quality seeds, and better know-how. We can see at least 100% growth in the agriculture sector in next 5 to 7 years. Third is with regard to agricultural sector, we can put some additional know-how like research and development center which educate to the farmers how to use pesticides, how to use which tools, which machinery, and how to get better yield, better output. This is also a very promising sector which has been ignored. Like there are a lot of scientists busy in agricultural research. Like last year, I had been to India, the Pusa Center. There I learned, actually, I was not aware what is this science of agriculture. There are seeds which can grow in 3 months and can give 200% output that are grown in that Pusa center, but we are unaware. There are a lot of other things which can yield better, but we are not aware. We are just using the age-old system, age-old seeds, age-old know-how. So I personally feel if we apply that better research and development, better use of pesticides, better use of fertilizers with the correct nutrient value, at least 100% growth in agriculture sector we can expect in next 5 years. So to friends around the world, Myanmar still have lot of give, especially in agriculture and other sectors also. As Mr. Ram said, he is very optimistic person. He always, as he mentioned, he see half glass full. So that should be the approach. But I assure, at least in agriculture, I see full glass full, no empty glass. So you are welcome to invest in Myanmar. And if any help, assistance, any contacts or anything required, I'll be happy to share. I'll be happy to assist anybody coming to Myanmar. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Syam, and thank you, Mr. Ram. And in last section is for me. Apart GOPIO president, I have a company called 4R Consultancy where we deal in the two sector, healthcare and education. So these are the two sector which in Myanmar is, and these are the evergreen sector. In spite of all turbulence in politics or anything happen in the world, this sector never get hurt. So if someone is having interest in healthcare sector, I would like to tell one thing. Currently, Myanmar is a part of LDC country. LDC means least developed country. So this country does not allow applicable for product patent. They are only for process patent. So if anybody would like to put a factory in Myanmar, they can make a product, especially the newer product which are just research in cancer, and then these products can be exported in all LDC country. In which way India pharmaceutical industry has grown in leaps and bounds, but India is now out of LDC country. So this is a great opportunity for Indian pharma company or Indian medical device company and all healthcare company. They can come and start manufacturing of drug, and then they can export and sell in Myanmar. So that is a one sector. Another sector, Myanmar have a need from Myanmar. Lot of patient travel to Thailand, almost around 700 or around 60 to 70,000 for medical tourism. They go to India also, Malaysia also, Singapore. So there is a huge scope in hospital sectors and medical tourism sector. And now because Myanmar has joined the League of 10 plus 2, so there is a lot of scope is there in private sector as well as in government sector in education. So if anybody would like to invest in Myanmar, or they have a plan to work with local university, local uh, institution for medical tourism, or even education sector and pharma industry, they can contact for our consultancy. We are available 24 by 7. So Myanmar is a country where is an opportunity everywhere. Like Mr. Shyam told, currently in power sector, lot of opportunity is there. Road and construction everywhere. It's the sky is the limit for growth. It is up to you how much you want to get growth. So I will request, if our any GOPIO member is having any question, please ask. And please ask your question on message on live chat. Dr. Shivam, you have any question?
Ravindra, I have one question.
Oh, thank you
Yeah.
very much. I don't have any questions. Thanks for asking me. Thank you.
It's
Yes,
just
Shyam.
amazing through GOPIO. Just sorry, Sham, just through GOPIO. I've known Dr. Sivam, God knows for how many years, and today we are connecting. We used to be in the same company before in the same country in Malaysia, and now we are connecting through GOPIO. Amazing, Dr. Sivam. Nice to reconnect through GOPIO.
Super, Ram.
Super.
We know each other for 20 years, I suppose.
Yes, more than 20, 19.
More
Yeah,
than
actually
20.
20 years. Yes,
20
yes,
years,
yes.
that's right. It's amazing.
Yes, Shyam.
Nice to see you. Nice to meet you.
Thank you.
We
Same
will
here.
keep in touch. I have penned down my contact number and we will communicate.
Yes.
Yeah. Thanks
Yes.
for everything.
Thank you.
Yeah, Sam.
Yes, my query is, like you said, there are a lot of opportunities in the pharmaceutical sector. What is the scope of setting up new factory here, and how much ease in setting? Is there any difficulty, any restriction from the government, or they are supporting to set up pharmaceutical factories?
Uh, if you want to establish a factory in Myanmar, this is a golden opportunity. I know there will be a little bit ups and downs, but what I'm telling you, remember Indian pharmaceutical industry or Bangladesh, this pharmaceutical industry has grown due to they were the LDC country. So there are two types of product and process patent in pharma industry. One is called process patent, another is called product patent. So first I will explain what is the process patent, what is the product patent. When you are in LDC country, suppose you want to make a paracetamol, and for making paracetamol in a originator is taking 20 step, or if you are making 19 step or 21 step, then you are out of patent. That is called process patent. So previously all Indian company, the Cipla, Cadila, all company, they were doing and they were getting the original product at very reasonable price and they were making big profit. Now India out of LDC country. So now in India there is a product patent applicable. You cannot make paracetamol in any step. If you need to make paracetamol or like any product, you have to give the originator royalty. So your price will go up. But in Myanmar, we can do that. So like as per the data suggests, the future in pharma industry is a cancer product. In Western country, mostly people are nowadays dying due to cancer. And cancer product price are Hercule. It is very, very costly. It is even difficult to afford you and me people like that. Forget about for poor people and middle class people. Like uh, yesterday, I have got one patient who is taking a Jacobi. It is a blood cancer patient medicine. It is a Novartis original research product. Currently, there is no the generic version available in the world. 10 tablet is costing around $400 in India, and in Singapore is costing $1,200. In America, it is costing $1,600, same 10 tablet. So the price difference is huge. And lung cancer, there are some medicine which cost one vial $10,000, $5,000, $2,000. So these product, if we can get it at least one or two manufacturing, then we can then you sell. Currently, Bangladesh is don't want to declare their country out of LDC through for WHO because they are still an LDC. They are the one country in the world which is making all these products because they are also almost out of LDC, but still they want to remain in that. So there's a lot of opportunity to manufacture pharma, have a small not very big factory, have a factory where we can make tablet and capsule on, and later we can put a injection plant also.
One more query, Ravindra.
Hmm.
Is there any added advantage of setting up a pharmaceutical factory? Number two question. What is the scope of Ayurvedic medicines in Myanmar?
Currently, Myanmar government is not giving registration for Ayurvedic products, so because they got their own Myanmar medicine, which is almost like Ayurveda. Recently, when I have traveled to Guwahati with the health minister of Myanmar, I discussed with him. They say whatever you are offering in Ayurveda, they are already available in Myanmar. So they want to currently protect their homegrown industry in Myanmar. So, and in that will not be much viable also. Ayurveda, Myanmar is also having, there may be a something different name, but mostly like in India, we got tiger balm, or in Thailand, same balm is available here by different name. So these mostly Ayurvedic product in Myanmar is available. Maybe a name may be different, but things are more or less same. And they are not giving for any new product currently registration. We are requesting to Myanmar government, hopefully they may give it. But putting factory of Ayurveda is not a good idea in my opinion.
Thank you. Thank you, Ravindra.
So, Mr. Fakruddin, you have any question?
No, I'm fine with the available. Maybe if anything, I'll let you know. Thanks.
Okay, Mr. Mukundan, you have any question? Mr.
Yeah,
Vivekanandan?
yeah, yes, sir,
Yeah,
yes, sir. Actually, related to textile, I'm talking about the weaving sector. How is the opportunity upcoming days?
Uh, Ram, can you answer that? Because this is not I don't know much about this subject. Okay, you can send me the message. I will get the answer from the appropriate person who is doing this type of businesses. Because
Because
My field.
it is mainly the Myanmar traditional dress is longi.
yeah,
So
yeah,
that is the biggest industry there. How is the growth opportunity in the future? That is what I want to know.
yeah, this business is always there in Myanmar. If you want to come, I can connect the people who do this, and then you
Okay.
both can discuss, because I don't deal directly in that. But being a secretary of India Myanmar Chamber of Commerce, I know the people who deal in this business. So that personally, you can message me. I can connect the buyer and supplier. Then you both can discuss what can be done.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Hello, Mr. Sunil. You have any question?
No. It is very interesting to hear you all. And as I said, I'm taking in all what you have all have mentioned about the opportunities. I will right now I'm in India, but I'm from Australia, so I'll discuss these opportunities in Australia and see how we can put together what do you call taking advantage of these opportunities in Myanmar. Always have an interest in Myanmar, but I haven't been there. I love to visit it and have a look at it, and I can put some thoughts to it and put some create some opportunities for all of us.
Yeah, Mr. Devi has asking, would there will be any opportunity in infrastructure? Mr. Devi, Myanmar need lot of infrastructure, so there are everywhere is opportunity. It is up to you how much you want to grab it. So thank you, Mr. Ram and Mr. Shyam, to take out your time for Sunday. I know this is a time for family, and thank you very much for my colleague, my GOPIO member from around the world who joined for this webinar. And I would like to inform everybody, this webinar will be available on GOPIO Myanmar YouTube page and Facebook page and my 4R Consultancy Twitter page. It was a live telecast. So if anybody asks you question, what is the opportunity in Myanmar, you can share the link. So it will always be there. So if someone not able to join today, they can watch this anytime. It is available 24/7. So it is like a ready-made answer of most of your question. Thank you very much for everybody for taking out today time. And especially thanks for Mr. Shyam and Ram and all other my GOPIO teammates. And hope to see every GOPIO members to coming to Myanmar and being our guest. Thank you. Bye-bye. Enjoy your Sunday evening with your family and friends.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
President.